Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, Text 1. Sutta uvacha evam Krishna sakha Krishno bratra rajnya vikalpita nana sankaspadam rupam Krishna vislesha karseta. Sutta said to the celebrated friend of the all-attractive Arjuna, as he was by his elder brother, the king, speculating on various things because of doubts about the forms of the all-attractive. And there were feelings of separation that caused him to be very much aggrieved. Now, if we understand that all forms belong to God, things like this come off a little bit differently, right? Text 2. So kana sushyan vadana hart sarojo hata prabah vibum tamevandusmaranasaknot pratibashetun. Because of grief, there was a drawing up of the mouth, and the lotus-like heart lost its bodily luster. Unto the Supreme certainly was the thinking within that there wasn't the ability to properly respond to it. And sometimes people do get dumbfounded. And it's not stupidity that does this. It's, people are overwhelmed in one way or another. Text 3. Krichrana samstabhya suchah panina merjya netrayoh parokshana samunanda pranayaut kantya katara. With great difficulty, the force of bereavement was checked with his hands, wiping over the eyes due to being out of sight, increasingly eager in the thinking of the affection. He became distressed. Text 4. Sakyam maetrim sauhardam cha saratyadeshu samsmaran nirpam agrajam eteaha bashpagadgadaya gera. The well-wishing benediction was intimately related also in the becoming the chariot driver, remembering all of these, to the king, the eldest brother, of Arjuna, said because of this. That, as he was breathing heavily, he was overwhelmed when it came to speech. Or, because of speeches. Like in our last program, there was some ambiguity that would have caused some issues, right? Text 5. Arjuna uvacha vancheto Maharaja harina bandhu rupenna yana me aparatam tejo deva vismapanam mahat. Arjuna said, I've been left by myself, O king, by the potency, as if an intimate friend by whom I've been bereft of my power, the light beings were astonished, and I find it astounding. Text 6. Yasya kshana vyayogena loko he apreya darsana ukthena rahito he esham mrtaka prochyate yatha. Who, for a moment of separation, all the universe and everything appears unfavorable because of a life devoid, certainly, of all these bodies. The dead bodies are it's like they're designated as dead bodies. Text 7. Yat samsrayan drupada geham upagatanam rajnam svayam varam mukhe smara durmadanam tejo hartam kalu maya behatascha matsya saji vrtana dandusha vegata cha Krishna, by whose mercy and strength in the palace of Drupada all those assembled of the princes on the occasion of the selection, all lusty in thought and power, vanquished as it were by me, pierced also the fish target. So, they were spearing for fish. By equipping the bow, by that bow, they also gained the God of light. Well, when you do things with mention of before, during, or after, according to religious principles, certainly you gain the favor of God. Text 8. Yatsanidavaham bukandavam agnayadam indram cha samaraganam tarasa vejitya labda sabamaya kirtanbota silpamaya dingbyo haran nirpatayo balim advarete, who's nearby myself, has a note of astonishment in the protected forest of the King of Heaven. Under the fire entity, under the fire it's delivered. The King of Heaven also, along with the delicate beings, with all dexterity, they conquered and obtained an assembly house built by illusion that was very wonderful, and the art and the workmanship had this illusory potency from all directions, and it collected the princes and the presentations that were brought to you. Now, so they had the material things, but they didn't have the favor of God. But when their consciousness was so involved, then they had the favor. Text 9. Yate jasa nirpasiro nangrim ahanmakartham arto nujas tava gajayuta sattva virya tennahrata pramatanatha makaya bhupa yanmochetas taranayan balim advarete. Whoever was influenced by one whose feet are adorned by the heads of kings, the feet as something you don't want facing you and all that other stuff is a symbol of how great that the head of the greatest worldly individuals is, that level of inferiority compared to God, and that they do obeisance. Were the great for the sacrifice, and the respectable younger brother of yours brought the 10,000 elephants with a powerful existence by him. They collected, and the Lord of the Ghosts took the sacrifice of the kings by whom they were released, and all of them brought their taxes, and they presented yours. So sacrifice is a way of taxes, and rich or poor people really should pay a portion of what they have. And text 10, because 10,000 elephants sounds like a huge sacrifice, but we're talking about everybody that could possibly be reached. Or maybe that was the 10,000 were brought to accompany the sacrifice. But there are certain rituals where they even ask that we need 7,000 animals, and it's this many of this and this many of this, and So text 10. Patnyastava vimaka kalpta mahabeshaka slangeshta charukabaram ketavai sabbayam sparshtam vekirya padayo patetasrumukhya yastanstreyo kartahatasa vimektu Kasa, the wife of yours during the great sacrificial ceremony, dressed up in a greatly sanctified way, glorified, beautified, with clustered hair by the miscreants. In the great assembly, she was caught, and being loosened on the feet of the one who fell down with tears, he, of their wives, they became bereft of their husbands, and, she loosened her hair. Oh. So her hair was loosened by some mischievous individuals. And texts, which can hurt if it's in dreads or whatever. I'm not sure which hairdo they're talking about, but they did have braiding, including dreads. Text 11. Yo no jugo pavana etya duranta gurchan durvasa so revrachetad ayutangrambug yah sakana sishtam upayujyayatas trelokim terptam mamamsta salelevenimagna sangah. One who gave us protection in the forest is getting in dangerous trouble. Durvasa was an enemy with his 10,000 to our enemies, and he ate before that person the remnants of the foodstuff, having accepted because of the three worlds being satisfied, thought in his mind while in the water, and all were merged into the water. Well, ritual baths are certainly important things to take. Text 12. Ya tejasatha bhagavan yude sulapanir vismapita sagerejo stram adan nijame anya pechaham amunaeva kalevarena prapto mahendra Bhavane Mahad Asanardam, by whose influence at a time the divine personality was in the battle. I was the one with the trident in hand, astonished, along with the daughter of the Himalayas. A weapon was awarded of his own unto me, and so also, and myself by this, definitely I bodily obtained in the house of the great God of heaven a half-elevated seat. And so we have this myth of the divine weapon of the trident that Greek culture had this sort of thing over here. And water being associated with it is an important coalition, right? Text 13. Tatra eva me viharato bhuja danda yugmam gandiva lakshanam aratevadaya devasendra sretayad anubhavitam ajmida Tenaham Madhya Musheta Purushana Bhumna. In that heavenly planet was certainly myself staying as a guest. Both of my arms had the Gandiva bow, and a demon who sought to kill all the light beings, along with the King of Heaven, took shelter of me, who made it possible to be powerful. Well, the demons incarnate their will by, the human demons, so the spiritual demon, of the descent of Ajamida. By him, I myself am at the present moment bereft of the personality of the Supreme. Well, you got to be careful of whose side you take, right? And there's a difference between residing on a plane and visiting a plane. It can be said that those who have earned a certain station, they reside there forever, but certain states go and come. So you got to be appreciative and learn of the states that, don't last. Text 14. Yad bandava kurubalam dem ananta parameko rathana tatare aham atirya sattvam pradyartam bahudanam chamaya parasham tejas paramanimayam chartam sirobhya, by whose friendship the ocean of military strength of the Kurus, well, I guess there were so many of them that was thought of like an ocean, right, was insurmountable. And I was alone on the chariot and able to cross over by myself. Invincible existence drew back a large quantity of wealth, and also, some by me, of the enemy. There was the source of brilliance, bedecked with jewels, was also taken by force from their heads. There's long been the problem with people bringing jewels and stuff, which are going to get damaged in the battles, and even softer metals like gold and stuff. And not only does it increase fervor and mess with intentions of those who might be fighting for a good cause, but it tends to result in some sort of weakness associated with these things, right? Text 15. Yo Bhishma Karna Guru Salya Chamushav Adabra Rajanya Varya Ratha Mandala Manditasu Agracharo Mama Vibbo Ratha Yuthapanam Ayurmanam Se Chandursa Sahauja Archat. It's only Bhishma, Karna, Dronacharya, Salya in the midst of the military phalanx. Well, there's a lot of these king stories where instead of crediting the whole battalion behind them or whatever, we hear their names. And it gets so bad that there's the talk that, oh, they left everybody behind and just went forward with by themselves. Either one person, or in this case we have 4. And they were decorated, and they went forward with me, O great king, and all the charioteers, with the duration of their life, and their fruitive activities, and their mental upsurges were also going by like a glance, along with the strength that withdrew. Text 16. Yandohshu ma pranehitam guru Bhishma Karna Naptur Trigarta Sauya Saindava Balekadhyaya Astrane Amoga Mahimane Nerupetane Nupas Persur Nurharedasam Evasurane, under whose protection I am situated, the spiritual guide, Bhishma, Karna, Naptur, the Trigarta, Salya, Saindava, Baleka, and so on. Their weapons were as invincible. They were so powerful. And they applied, that there wasn't even the ability to apply a touch to who served. Nirhara Dasam. Oh, no, so who served? Like those weapons applied by the demons. So the demons couldn't use their weapons. But by the demons, if we mean the spiritual beings, again, their power over individuals is according to consent. And, there are some terms maybe we need to look up for the Trigarta. I don't remember what Garta means. The Jayad Ratha, Naptre. We actually have names, but the meaning of the names matter. You might want to look into them. I think we should translate everything regardless of the context and stuff. Text 17. Saudyavrta kumatena mada isvaro meyat pada padmam abhavaya bhajante bhavya mamsranta vahamarayo rateno bhuvistam na praharan yad anubhava nirasta chitta. Regarding a chariot driver being engaged by bad consciousness as they deliver for the Supreme Controller, of whom their lotus feet is the matter of salvation. They render service as intelligent people unto me with my thirsty horses, and the enemies face a great general while standing on the ground, and they didn't attack because of the mercy being absent in their minds. And therefore, so some don't attack for that reason, and some do attack because of the mercy provided. Text 18. Narmane udara ruchera smeta subitane he partha he arjuna sakhe kuru nandanete sanjalpetane naradeva herde sparsane smartur lutante hrdayam mama madhavasya. And there was joking conversation and frank talking that pleased and caused smiles as he spoke. O son of Partha, attention. Arjuna is a friend and a son of the Kuru dynasty, and so on. Such conversations, O angelic, are heart-touching, and by remembering them, one is overwhelmed, heart and soul, by my Madhav Asya. Text 19. Sayasanatana Vekatana Bhojana Deshav Aikyad Vayasya Ratavan Ete Vipra Labdah Sakyu Sakheva Pitrvat Tana Yasya Sarvam Sahemahan Mahitaya Kumater Angame. Sleeping on a bed, or sitting on a seat, or walking together in self-adoration, or dining together, and in all such dealings, because of the oneness. O friend, stay truthful. And thus, the misbehavior unto a friend is just like a friend, just like the father of the child. It's all tolerated greatly by the glories of one. It's of a low mentality. The offense is mine. And, because of relations, we tolerate things because of the overall situation.